Hello and welcome to Dishing Delights. My name is Jenica and today I am going to take you along with me as I make some lasagna and some delicious banana bread. Let's get into it. The first thing I am going to do is take out my onions and my green pepper, and I am going to chop up one of these onions for the lasagna, and I'm going to toss in that whole pepper that's diced up. I have a Dutch oven right here. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil, maybe a tablespoon and a half. And I have my diced green pepper and my diced onion. And I'm just going to add both of these to that Dutch oven. And then I have some other onions that are going bad, so I'm just going to dice them up and toss them into the freezer. So I have diced onions already prepared for future meals. I'm just going to cook these down for about 8 to 10 minutes. I'm going to throw in a pound of ground beef. I'm just going to cook this ground beef until it's fully cooked through, and then we'll start adding in the rest of the ingredients. Now for this, I'm just going to add in 1 can of crushed tomatoes, a tablespoon of tomato paste, some Italian seasoning along with some garlic powder, onion powder, and any other spices that I may just throw in there. Alright, this is starting to look really good. It's fine if you get some brown bits at the bottom. So right here I'm going to add in some onion powder. I'll do about a half a teaspoon since I already have onion in there. I'm going to do a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, which is about a pinch. I'm actually going to add in a little bit of cayenne pepper just for a kick. I make lasagna different every single time I make it, so I'm just throwing it together. Now I'm going to add in a tablespoon of Italian seasoning, and while those seasonings are getting cooked into that, I'm going to open up my cans. I'm going to add in about a tablespoon of tomato paste, I'm now going to add in my can of crushed tomatoes. I'm going to keep this on a low heat. I'm going to add in a little bit more salt, a little bit more garlic powder, I'm also going to add in about a teaspoon and a half of oregano. I have made a mess. Now I'm just going to let this simmer for about 40 minutes and then we'll check on it then. This has been going for about 35 minutes. So I'm just going to stir it. And we are going to make our cottage cheese mixture. Keep that on low. The first thing I'm going to do is shred up my mozzarella cheese. Alright, I'm going to take 2 eggs. Mix those up. Now I'm going to take my container of cottage cheese I'm going to take like 2 handfuls of grated Parmesan cheese. Like, this is just the Kraft Parmesan. And then 6 ounces of mozzarella cheese. I'm going to save the other 2 ounces for some garlic bread. Now to this, I'm also going to add in some salt, some pepper, whole lot of pepper, a little bit of onion powder, and some garlic powder, about a teaspoon. You want to make sure every layer has flavor. Ooh, now my oven is ready. So I'm going to pull out my lasagna dish and let's get to making this lasagna. I am now going to take my lasagna noodles, and I don't even cook these. They'll cook as it bakes in the oven. So I'm just doing a layer of sauce, then a layer of noodles, then a layer of this cheese mixture. Then on top of the cheese mixture, I'll do a layer of the sauce, and we'll do that 2 more times. Now on this last layer, I'm going to do the tomato sauce right on the bottom and then the cheese layer on top. Now I'm going to take some more of that Parmesan cheese, just add it all over top. Now so this doesn't dry out, I'm going to cover this. And then I'm going to put it in an oven at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. Then I'll take the aluminum foil off and put it in for another 25 minutes. Now this pan right here has seen better days, but right now I'm going to make some garlic bread, just with this bread that I grabbed from the store. I have this butter. I'm just going to butter this bread, put a little salt and garlic powder on it, and then I'm going to top it with the rest of this cheese. After the cheese and parsley, I'm going to add some more Parmesan cheese. I'll toss this in the last 5 or 6 minutes before the lasagna is ready. Here is our lasagna. I'm going to toss this garlic bread in there for a few minutes, and I will let this rest for about 20 minutes, and then I will cut into it. You gotta make sure you let it rest. I just pulled our cheese bread out of the oven. I just let that toast until it was brown on both sides. Now let's cut into our lasagna. We're gonna do giant pieces. And this is what we will be eating on for at least... for at least a day, probably 2. Now let me take this giant piece out. And that is what's for dinner.
This is gonna be so delicious. I'm excited.
I want a corner piece. Yum. And that is my plate. This is going to be amazing. I am going to be making some banana bread. So I have my vanilla, my baking soda, my eggs, my butter that I'm going to melt, my flour, this is unbleached white flour, my sugar, and my bananas. I'm going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and then we are going to make this. First thing I'm going to do is take my eggs. These are hard-boiled eggs. Oh my god. Oh man. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is pull out some eggs that are not hard-boiled eggs. I am baking right now because I am like all nerved up because we are getting a dog on Friday. I am so excited. Our fur baby passed away in August, so I think we're finally ready. I'm so excited to finally have a dog in the house. I spent all day cleaning, getting all of our old stuff back out, seeing what we need that's new. I am absolutely stoked. I beat my eggs, now I'm going to toss in these brown bananas. I have my butter, it's melting on the stovetop. All right, I'm going to mash these bananas up. I had a banana peel in there. I am losing my mind right now. I've got too much going on in my head. I realized I shouldn't have put this egg in until I added the melted butter. You know what, I'm just going to add all of the ingredients. My vanilla, my baking powder, my sugar, or baking soda. I'm all out of vanilla, so my next Azure standard order, going to have to make that happen. Now I'll add in the butter. Better late than never. I also need to add in some salt. So my husband has a friend that contacted us about a Facebook post about this dog, and I am so excited that she is about the same age as our last dog when we got her, and it'll just be so nice to have a companion, especially as we're outdoors more. Now that spring is coming, it's just not the same when you're outside without a dog. Those of you that have dogs, you understand what I'm saying. So what I'm going to do is set this aside. I'm going to butter up. I'm going to oil up 2 bread pans, and that's all we have to do. All right, I coated these in coconut oil. Ooh, you know what I forgot? I have these amazing walnuts from Azure Standard. And you know what? We're gonna go a little rogue. I love cinnamon, so I'm going to add in some cinnamon as well. Can't go wrong. All right, now I have 2 loaves of banana bread that are ready to go in the oven. These will cook at 350 from 55 minutes to about an hour and 5 minutes. I usually bake banana bread for an hour and it turns out perfectly fine. So that's where these are going. All right, our banana bread is finished. And I already checked it, but I'll check it again. Completely clean, I'm just going to let this rest. In about 5 minutes, I'll pull this out of the pans. This banana bread ended up turning out really good. I prefer the sour cream banana bread that I made last time, but my husband preferred this one. I ended up cutting into it when it was a little too warm and broke it apart. But hey, that's the fun in eating banana bread. Thank you so much for coming along on another Dishing Delights video. If you like this video, please like, make sure you're subscribed, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload my next video. Thank you so much for watching.